ninth race of the 2024 NASCAR Cup Series season brings us to the Lone Star State for the second time this season. But instead of going on the road course in Austin, we're off to the 1.5 mile track in Fort Worth. Texas Motor Speedway is the site for today's race, the 2024 Autotrader EchoPark Automotive 400. Very nice weather here in Fort Worth, Texas. Temperature in the mid-80s under partly sunny conditions, 0% chance of rain, which is always a wonderful sight to see. But as always in Texas, look at that wind speed, 18 miles an hour south-southwest throughout the racetrack, with wind gusts expected to be as high as 33 miles per hour. And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back for the first time in what a year maybe, or just about a year of NASCAR racing here on MDK. Welcome back to MDK RaceDay. I know it's been a long time since I've done one of these videos, but ready to get back on the grind. Hopefully I can start bringing these out more consistently. But yeah, hey, better late than never, right? But yes, the ninth race of the season is here. Let's go over everything you need to know, including our news and notes. Now, really not much news and notes to discuss that hasn't been discussed earlier on this week. The one thing we are going to talk about is what took place here yesterday. The NASCAR Xfinity Series proving once again why it is the best racing series in NASCAR today. A very solid race that was dominated by Junior Motorsports driver Justin Allgaier, leading 117 of the 200 laps. The race came down to two surprising drivers. Ryan Sieg driving for his own team in the 39 car and Junior Motorsports driver Sam Mayer in the 1 car. Sieg led the final 17 of 18 laps, but it was Mayer that was hunting him down in the closing stages and passed him on the back straightaway before getting tight in turns 3 and 4, setting up this tremendous finish side by side, beating and banging at the line. Mayer wins it by 2/1000ths of a second, making it tied for the second closest finish in Xfinity Series history. And the Xfinity Series proving that no matter how garbage a racetrack is, somehow it'll still find a way to present itself a fantastic race. But that was yesterday. Let's talk about what's happening today for the NASCAR Cup Series. Here's a look at the point standings following Martinsville. It was Hendrick Motorsports domination and reflected like that in the point standings. Kyle Larson now jumps up 1 spot ahead of Martin Truex Jr. to now become the new series points leader, 14 points ahead of Truex. Denny Hamlin stays in 3rd. William Byron, last week's winner, jumps up 3 spots to now be in 4th place and now also becomes the series' first 3-time winner. Ryan Blaney remains in place in 5th place. Chase Elliott jumps up 2 spots. Ty Gibbs, though, loses 3 spots, goes from 4th to 7th. Ross Chastain, Tyler Reddick, and Alex Bowman each collectively goes up 1 spot. Christopher Bell had a really bad race last weekend at Martinsville, even spinning at one point in time late in the race, loses 5 spots. He's actually the biggest loser from this whole bunch. Bubba Wallace up 2 spots from his 4th place finish. Chris Buescher down 1. But Joey Logano, the last couple weeks, he has been on a roll, nearly winning stage 2, ending it with a great finish at Martinsville. He jumps up 5 spots. From being out of the playoffs to now currently being in. And Kyle Busch, now currently Kyle Busch at the moment, he holds the final playoff spot. You see Daniel Suarez in 17th with his win at Atlanta means that he is locked in, which means that Chase Briscoe is the first one out, 1 point behind Kyle Busch. Brad Keselowski minus 13 in the 18th position. John Hunter Nemechek minus 32, and in 20th place, his teammate, now up 2 spots, is Eric Jones minus 35. Busch, the official beer of NASCAR, proud sponsor of the Busch Light Pole Award given to the fastest driver at each NASCAR Cup Series event. Busch Light congratulates Kyle Larson for his 3rd consecutive pole of 2024, the 19th pole of his career, and his first at Texas Motor Speedway with a speed of 190.369 miles per hour, the fastest lap ever turned in the next-gen era. Since 2020, Busch Beer has invested more than $70 million as part of the NASCAR Cup Series premier sponsors. So here's a look at the starting lineup for the 2024 Autotrader EchoPark Automotive 400. Kyle Larson on pole, like I said, for the 3rd week in a row, and to his outside is rising young gun Ty Gibbs. Plethora of row 2 is taken up by the Toyotas. Christopher Bell, the Phoenix winner, and to his outside is Tyler Reddick, who won here back in the fall of 2022. Chase Briscoe, his best start in a long time, in 5th place in that 14 car, sits alongside William Byron, the 2023 Fall Texas winner. Row 4 has the defending series champion Ryan Blaney, sits alongside his Penske teammate Austin Cindric. Good run for him in that number 2 machine. And rounding out the top 10 is Martin Truex Jr. Sits alongside him. Rounding out the top 10 is a pole sitter from last year, Bubba Wallace. Row 6 has Denny Hamlin, a former winner here at Texas, sits alongside his best friend Ross Chastain. Row 7 has Michael McDowell in the 34 car, and to his outside is the Ally Chevrolet of Alex Bowman. Row 8 has Austin Dillon in the number 3 car, sits alongside Carson Hocevar, a great run for him, and that 77 machine starts in the 16th place. And then row 9 has Daniel Suarez in the 99 car, sits alongside another rookie in Zane Smith. With round out the top 20 is 4 drivers, Texas native Chris Buescher and Joey Logano. Row 11 has another pair of 4 drivers, Noah Gragson in the number 10 car, and to his outside is Brad Keselowski, who won the pole here 2 years prior. Row 12 has Corey LaJoie in the number 7 car, and the 2020 Cup Series champion Chase Elliott. Rookie Josh Berry and teammate Ryan Preece from Stewart-Haas Racing occupy row 13. Row 14 has Eric Jones and Todd Gillen, and rounding out row 15 is Harrison Burton and John Hunter Nemechek. In the final 4 rows, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Justin Haley. Kaz Grala and Austin Hill once again returning to the Cup Series, driving the number 33 RCR car. Kyle Busch, sent to the rear after he crashed during practice, sits alongside Ty Dillon. And Jimmy Johnson, who also crashed during practice, returning to the NASCAR Cup Series since the Daytona 500, sits alongside Daniel Hemrick, rounding out the 38 car driver field. Here's a look at the odds to win here at Texas Motor Speedway. No surprise to see Kyle Larson at the top of the board with a 4-to-1 chance. I mentioned the winner from 2 years prior, Tyler Reddick, also another great shot at 6-to-1. Denny Hamlin, former winner, 13-2. William Byron, the latest winner at Texas, at a 7-to-1. Defending Cup champion Ryan Blaney, 17-2. Martin Truex Jr. at 10-1 with his teammate Christopher Bell at 12-1. Chastain and Elliott 14-1, and Ty Gibbs at a 16-1 shot, alongside another Toyota driver in Bubba Wallace. Kyle Busch, surprised to see him still be so far up at an 18-1 shot. Joe Logano at a 20-1, Alex Bowman 22-1, Buescher and his teammate Keselowski at 28-1, Noah Gragson at a 60-1, and then Eric Jones, Daniel Suarez, and Chase Briscoe all sit at 80-1 shot at winning. Those are your real long shots to have a shot at winning at Texas. So what can we expect at Texas? Well, based on what we saw last fall, the racing may not be great, but it will be a lot better when you look at previous Texas standards. The next gen car is known to run really good on these mile-and-a-half tracks, so I will not be surprised if you start to see some good racing. I don't know if it's going to be a great race, but I do think we're going to see some really good battles. Once again, that we got to talk about are the Toyotas. They are fast once again. 3 of the top 4 drivers starting in this field are occupied by the Toyota brand. Ty Gibbs had the fastest lap out of anyone during practice, while Tyler Reddick had the best 10-lap average, and they start all in the top 4. But it's the pole sitter we got to keep our eyes on once again. That is Kyle Larson, won here back in the fall of 2021. He finished 3rd and 2nd the last 2 weeks, although they were at Martinsville and Richmond, both short tracks. He's still going into Texas with a lot of momentum, and it should be something that we should point out that he is the last winner of a mile-and-a-half track in the NASCAR Cup Series, winning at Las Vegas. The driver that he beat was Tyler Reddick. Speaking of Tyler Reddick, him and Bubba Wallace to 2311 Racing, those are some dark horses that I think we need to keep our eyes on today. Reddick starting in the 4th position, with Bubba Wallace starting in 10th place. Bubba Wallace won the pole here last year, led a career high 111 laps, just lost it on the final restart to William Brown for the race win. Reddick, we know how good he can be on the mile-and-a-half tracks. Won at Kansas last fall. Again, like I said, finished 2nd to Larson in Vegas earlier this year. Both those drivers are extremely fast, and I think they could be ones that can surprise a lot of people here today. But it's going to be a showdown like every other week so far in 2024. Chevrolet versus Toyota. With Toyota, I mentioned 2311. You have a couple drivers from Joey Gibbs Racing, like a Ty Gibbs to maybe watch out for. But when you look at Chevrolet and Hendrick Motorsports, the driver that you got to keep your eyes on every single weekend, I believe the new top dog of NASCAR, and that is William Byron, who is the last driver to win here at Texas last fall, beating out Bubba Wallace in that final restart. Like I said, he's the first driver once again to win 3 races in 2024, won last weekend at Martinsville. And I think the numbers aren't going to tell the full story. He was 13th fastest overall, but was 4th fastest among the 10-lap averages, and he has finished 7th or better. A driver that I think that could also surprise some people, possibly, is Chase Briscoe. He's starting incredibly well. 5th place. That's the highest, I think, in a long time I've seen that 14 car start in this race. And so far, every single race he has competed in the NASCAR Cup Series at Texas Motor Speedway, he has finished 15th or better. He finished 10th last weekend at Martinsville, and it seems as though that this year, The 14 car, we can even also throw in the 10 car of Noah Gragson, have always been just either inside or just outside the top 10. Who knows? If things can fall in their way, don't be surprised to see that 14 car come out of this race with a very solid finish. And finally, some big names are coming from the back of the field. I mentioned the drivers of Kyle Busch and Jimmie Johnson. They both crashed during practice. Busch 36th, Johnson 38th. Be interesting to see how those two drivers, especially how Jimmie Johnson drives in his first mile and a half race since, I believe, Charlotte of last year, where he crashed out in the Coke 600, but got very little practice time. Be interesting to see how he adjusts with this next gen car at a track like Texas, and for Kyle Busch to just stop the bleeding, as he has just been on a horrible streak of bad luck and misfortune these past few weeks. And some other notable drivers starting at the back or mid-pack, you have Chase Elliott, the former Cup champion, starting in the 24th position, Brad Keselowski starting in 22nd, and Joey Logano starting just inside the top 20 in 20th. So you also have some big name drivers that are trying to work their way from the back towards the front. Now we're going to try something new. We're going to do something new. Every week, or as many times as I post with these race day videos, I'm going to give you my fantasy live lineup. Now this is the first time I'm doing this, so I'm kind of cheating a little bit because I got still all 10 of my usages, but this is my fantasy live lineup for Texas Motor Speedway. I got Kyle Larson, Ty Gibbs, Tyler Reddick, Bubba Wallace, and William Byron as my starters, with Denny Hamlin in the garage. With Hamlin, I feel like when it comes to mile and a half racetracks, he always finds a way to just be there. He's not starting up front, starting in mid-pack, but knowing that 11 car, he knows how to win here at Texas. He's done it before, knows how to win on the mile and a half racetracks. And I feel like, just in case, if something goes wrong with my starters, I feel like Hamlin would be a great replacement. That's why he's starting in my garage. And for my pick to win, I do have Kyle Larson winning this race. I just feel like that 5 team, especially with Hendrick Motorsports, how they've been running as a whole collectively in 2024, it's going to be very difficult to stop him. I was leaning on either Larson or William Byron. I was, kind of conflicted between the two, but I feel like though that Larson has a better car, and I do believe that he will be the driver that will roll into victory lane and shoot up them guns when the day is all said and done. So I have Kyle Larson winning at Texas today, but I think overall, Hendrick Motorsports as a whole, I think it's going to be a dogfight between HMS and Joe Gibbs Racing / 2311 Racing. I feel like that's the theme we're going to get for this race here today. But what are your thoughts on this race? What do you think is going to happen? Let me know in the comment section down below. As always, make sure you come back here for Sunday night for recapping today's NASCAR Cup race at Texas Motor Speedway. Also, next time, my name is Jett from MDK. Thank you so much for watching. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the 2024 NASCAR Cup Series race at Texas Motor Speedway. We'll see you tonight.